Hey guys, this is a screencast for my service learning project, and for my service learning project I created a website using Wix, and Wix is a cloud-based web development platform, and I use this platform to create a website for my teacher. And the first page on my website is a welcome page, which is just an overview. It's a description with a short description. Students learn the cardinal directions and how to use their directional skills to create and navigate, and grade levels first grade and social studies, and it just leads into my website and leads into the introduction. And my introduction is just a short summary of what students should know prior to this lesson, and it kind of shows how the teacher should present the knowledge since it's new to the first graders. And so for my first instructional task, I have introduced cardinal directions, and for this task I asked the teacher to introduce the students to cardinal directions by using the compass rose and showing that over the dot camera. And the technology options I suggested for this task are 2 YouTube videos that I think will be very beneficial to enhancing this task, because it's important for students who are learning things for the first time to be able to not just read it, but say it out loud verbally and to physically engage in what they're learning. And I feel like these 2 videos do a good job of doing that. And so I'll show you the first one. It's the cardinal directions song, and I'll show you a little bit of it.
North, east, south, and west. Never eat soggy worms. Never eat salty watermelon. North, east, south, and west. North is usually up on a map, like the 12 on a clock. 3 is to the east.
So this video includes rhymes and acronyms for remembering the cardinal directions, and this video also provides visuals to enhance the viewer's learning experience. And for my other video, I decided to include a YouTube video that has a dance to remembering the cardinal directions. So I'll show you some of that. So this video is a dance to help learn the cardinal directions, and I feel like this technology option enhances this task because students will be able to get up and be active and physical in learning the cardinal directions. And for my second task, it's to learn how to use the cardinal directions with guided practice around the classroom. And for this task, I decided to split the class half and half because technology resources are limited. So I have half the class playing watching Brain Pop Junior videos over map skills, and Brain Pop Junior is an excellent technology resource because it has thousands of videos and games and quizzes, and the map skills unit on this is really nice. I was looking into it, and I think it would be a very beneficial technology option because it allows the students to gain a basic understanding of map skills and how to use the compass rose to find certain directions. And for the other half of the class, I decided to include a classroom directions game, and basically for this game the goal is for students to practice thinking about cardinal directions, and the game starts off with somebody being it, and this student who's it stands in the middle of the classroom, and the teacher should put up on each wall north, south, east, and west, and it should correspond to what actually is north, south, east, and west in the classroom. And the student that is it will stand in the middle of the classroom, and count to 10 with their eyes closed. And all the other students in the classroom can then pick a cardinal direction and go to that wall of the classroom. And when the person that is it is done counting, they pick a cardinal direction, and if all the students that are at that cardinal direction are out and they have to sit down. And then it just keeps on going until there's one person standing and that person becomes it and the game starts over. And I think this is a great way for students to start thinking about cardinal directions and in relative to location. And this doesn't necessarily have to be used, or this game doesn't have to be played with just half the class. The entire class can also participate in it, but I think it's a great way for students to get an idea about how to use cardinal directions and start warming up to the ideas and the concepts. And for my third activity, it's an interactive activity practicing how to use maps to find location using cardinal direction. And I chose Google Earth for this task because it allows students to take a virtual trip while learning about cardinal directions. And you could start off by entering your school's location and zoom in and see from row side and aerial view. And you can have the students say how to get to Disney World. Like you'd have to go, since we're in Indiana, you'd have to go south. So the students would direct the teacher to go south. And once you're in Disney World, you can navigate through Disney World to find certain rides, and students can give the teacher directions on how to get to certain rides and attractions. And then they can virtually ride the rides, which is really fun for the students. And this is a great way for students to get an overview of the whole globe and how the cardinal directions play effect into finding certain locations and giving out directions. And I think this task is really beneficial for the next task, which is having students create their own maps and locate places using cardinal directions. And this task, it's a summary, is the students will use what they learned about cardinal directions to create their own maps of their community. And the goal of this lesson is to have students incorporate what they have learned about cardinal directions and maps to create their own maps. And the first part of this task is to have the students think of their community and create a map with their house. And it's up to them to include what buildings and physical features that they want to put on their maps, but it is important that they have a map key on their maps. That's a part of what's on the rubric. And it's also important for the laptops to be available for them. So if they want to search on Google Earth and to see what physical features and buildings are around their community and what they would want to put on their maps. And the second part of this task is once the students are done making their maps with their map keys and it's all put together, they then have to pick a place on their maps that they would like to hide their treasure. And then they will have to write out directions using the cardinal directions on how to get to their treasure. And once they've done that, then they can switch with their classmates, and then they can try to find each other's treasures using the directions that they have written. And I also created a Google document for my teacher that goes into more detail about the objectives and the steps, and the grading rubric is on there as well, and it has the materials necessary, and it's just there for my teacher to know how to grade and whatnot. So those are my 4 tasks, and for my teacher's page, I just included my standards for my service learning project and the learning objectives, and then I did a short description about how each task met the learning objectives. And I really hope that my teacher appreciates this, and I hope to one day use it in my future classroom. So thanks for watching.